Whole day one, awesome Tuesday weather again here in Minnesota. We're going for some top sets today, so we're incorporating more top sets. In my program, doing more straight sets like 8 to 12, 10 to 15, a little bit more volume throughout the beginning of my growth phase. But starting today, we have a little bit more high intensity, higher load work. So we have like top sets like 6 to 8 on most of my bigger upper body compound works and my RDL motion today. Top set of 4 to 6, so I'm excited to kind of see what we can do in that over the coming weeks here as we progress back up.
Starting off here, we have a low to high row, more of a lat emphasis on this motion here. So I'm using a neutral grip, keep that elbow tight to my body. As you notice, I let my humerus, my upper arm, slightly lead forward to get that stretch, and I'm driving my elbow tight to the body, squeezing my lats. I'm not focusing on a ton of retraction here, as your upper back is still stimulated very well. We're focusing on keeping that tension within our lats. This is 6 to 8. I got 11, so I definitely overshot the rep range here, which is great for week 1. Now we know we can push next week here for week 2. Following that up, a little more lat work here. This would be more of a single arm lat pull down. So we'll be working more of that mid to low lat. With this is a prime pull down. This is a gnarly machine here. It's a plate loaded machine. I have the middle and top peg loaded. So that's meaning at the top to the mid range. So the beginning range of motion of the rep is where I'll be working the most, where it's a bit more challenging and a little bit more of that stretch immediate hypertrophy. So on this, we're focusing on driving the elbow tight to the body, towards our hip again. Then as you go up, think about breathing in through your nose. Again, let that humerus, your upper arm, protract, your scap slightly come up to feel that stretch as that is directly attached to your lat. That's going to help increase range of motion. Again, 6 to 8, then 8 to 12, going to that failure point. Next will be a magnum up back row. Now we're on to more up back thickness. On this, think about moving throughout the shoulder blades. Your scaps is about getting that lengthened state, owning that stretch, then leading with the elbows away from the body. Notice how I'm driving my elbows out, slightly abducting. That's going to take more lat out of it and engage more of my mid to upper back. Focus on more rhomboids, traps, and some of the muscles hidden underneath those muscles too, just to pop that thickness. On this, the first set, 6 to 8. Back off set, 8 to 12 again. Really own the stretch on all pull motions. Following that up will be a dumbbell row shrug variation. This will also be for more upper back emphasis here. What we want to focus on this is setting up so your torso slightly touches your thighs. Then as you drive back, think about the scapular retraction, pinching. And as you come back down, breathing, rounding that upper back again. You're going to get slight flexion through your upper to mid to back, possibly going down to your lumbar spine as you fatigue a bit more here. But you really want to just find a good slot where you can get good retraction and a good stretch. I'm holding the dumbbells at a slight angle just due to the size of the dumbbells now. I can't clear my legs without it, but try to keep an overhand grip until that occurs. Next will be our first lower body motion. So this is a single leg ham curl. What we're focusing on this is creating a slight hinge and then driving and cracking at our knee. With that slight hinge, our hamstring muscles, there's 3 muscles that are bi-articular, so that means it crosses both our hip and knee joint. So by creating that slight hinge, we're creating a bit more of a lengthened state. And as we drive our knee up, it's going to be more of that shortened state at the top there, fully lengthened at the bottom, and we're driving, cracking at the knee. Focus on keeping it smooth and consistent. And then as you get closer to that failure point, go up. So focus on cracking at the knee, but keep that tension within the hamstring as far as you can get it. Our last hamstring motion and erector work is via belt squat RDL. I had 2 sets of this, 4 to 6 and 6 to 8, so a bit heavier. I got my first set of 6 here with some really heavy load. What we're focusing on this is as we go down, owning that eccentric, digging your big toe in. That's going to help cue more hip internal rotation, keep stress on those hammies and glutes. And think about driving hip through. Slight pause at the bottom, owning that stretch, hip through at the end there. What was not recorded was a dumbbell incline curl, so set that bench up totally vertical, and then focus on 1 straight set of 8 to 12, then 1 back off set of dumbbell 21s. So that's 7 top partials, 7 bottom partials, and then I'm choosing a weight where I can get 10 to 15 reps till failure on full range of motion there. Our last exercise, multiple purposes for it. Of course, it's work a little bit more of our abdominals, but also help decompress our spine from the hanging. But also working on our hip flexors by flexing at the hips to bring the weight up. So this is a hanging half kneeling leg raise. There's a bit of a difference between this and like a full flexion of your rectus abdominis, like a curl up, anything like that. What we're focusing on here is, of course, a little bit of lat hypertrophy, getting that stretch, decompressing the spine, and shoulder health from just hanging. But what I'm doing with my lower body here is I'm holding more so an isometric contraction with my abs. So think about holding a plank. You're contracting your abs, but not going through range of motion. Hence, it's isometric, not dynamic. So I'm isometrically contracting my abs here, and then I'm moving at my hips. I'm driving my knees up, focusing on driving towards my chest, almost there, exhaling as I drive up. So I'm going to get a little bit of flexion, which is going to work my rectus abdominis slightly dynamically, but also isometrically by holding that weight there. And it's also going to get a slight bit of contractions in those obliques with the slight twist. So save this workout, give it a try, and keep on grinding.